Hey guys, Frozen X is here, and I'm going to be doing a patch notes for a game that I pretty much forgot existed at this point. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't forget it existed, but yeah, this is going to be over some face cam footage. I know I have a webcam now from before, well, after, technically, in the order of filming his videos, but I'm sure you can see me down there. I mean, just look how stupid that guy looks. What a fucking idiot. Alright, anyway, getting into the update 3.15. Alright, so there's been a lot of changes to the parts. The Lunatics faction. This faction produces light maneuverable vehicles moving at top speed, making them extremely difficult targets for ranged weapons. Most grills no longer let damage through. So that's a very important thing to know about grills. They don't let damage through, they actually work as an armor piece now. And yeah, that'll be really nice for the Lunatics. And since parts now take on all damage and are considered as whole, they are 80% stronger and heavier. So, although they are more armor-like and will actually, absorb the damage opposed to letting it hit your hull, they are still going to be heavier. So, keep that in mind. The Nomads faction, this faction builds vehicles with very average speed and durability. They are the in-between faction. They can protect their cars from medium damage, however, they can't boast lunatic-like agility. So basically, they're trying to say they're slower. They're slower than the Lunatics, but they're stronger, and they are weaker than the Scavengers, but they are faster than them. So that's basically how it works. Lunatics are light armored, very fast. Nomads are medium armor, medium speed. Scavengers are heavy armor, slow speed. You kind of get it. Also with the Nomads, part mass did not match their size. As a result, mass of most parts has been increased by 50%. So the Nomads overall are going to have heavier parts now. The Engineers faction, this is the default faction. They really play no role because everyone is technically in the Engineers faction. Features of their vehicles are similar to Nomads, but they are more powerful. Depending on the size, part mass has been increased by 25%, and structure of various parts has increased by 10 to 60%. So basically, as with the Nomads, the Engineers received pretty much the same thing. The mass of the parts have been increased, but they have also increased the structure of them. The Scavengers the Scavengers faction, they are the heaviest, this is a hard language, guys. I'm sorry. They are the heaviest, clumsiest, but certainly the most durable armored vehicles. Structure was reduced by 25% or remained unchanged. So a lot of parts have been weakened because they were a little too bulky, almost like unkillable bulky, but yet now it should be more balanced. But the mass of some parts have been increased by 15 to 45%, so now they're going to be slower because previously the Scavengers could quite easily go the same speed as the Nomads, which that's not how they're supposed to be. Alright, moving on. Suspension. Balanced power score between all types of wheels and tracks. So wheels and tracks are much more balanced in the power score category because it was kind of absurd how a track of basically the same structure was almost double the power score of just a regular tire. The power score of wheels or tracks now depends on size or rarity. Power score increases with increased part size and rarity. So as it becomes more rare, higher power score. That should be pretty freaking obvious. Bumpers. Bumper power score for bumpers is now brought in line with their characteristics. So what they do is reflecting how much power score it will add. Now, on to the next topic. Cabin balance. The truck cabin has had a reduced maximum speed, and this reduced maximum speed also affects the maximum speed without an engine, and they've also reduced the engine power, so an all-around nerf to the truck cabin. The Wyvern cabin has received, however, a increased tonnage, increased critical mass, and increased engine power, so it's more in the middle there, not really nerfed or buffed, it's just more doing what it should be. And the Buggy cabin, they increased the tonnage, increased critical mass, and slightly increased engine power. So, same deal there. Moving on to relic weapons. Since the continuous stream of our uranium ore has started, engineers all over the world began to use it for production of their most powerful weapons. Now all relic weapons are produced with uranium ore. We also introduced a number of parts required for production of relic weapons, so that is cool. Relics can now be produced with uranium as well as other things. Increasing the amount of raw materials in production has reduced the number of legendary items thrown into the smelter. So they've increased the production cost of legendary items, which will make it harder to, move up from there. Now the creation of a relic item requires 2 legendary items, so there you go. That's kind of the last one taken into effect. Alright, so the PA Scorpion Blueprint. 1,000 copper, 1,000 electronics, 1,000 wires, 150 uranium, 150 scorpion parts, or 100 scorpion parts, I'm sorry. An Apollo generator, and a Hammerfall shotgun. Porcupine Mine Layer Blueprint. 1,000 copper, electronics, wires, 150 uranium, 100 porcupine parts, hurricane launcher, and retro launcher. And last but not least, the Firefly Flamethrower Blueprint is 1,000 copper, electronics, and wires, 150 uranium, 100 Firefly parts, 1 mammoth cannon, and 1 harvester. Now we're moving into the balance, the most important part of this update, because there's been quite a bit changed to the weapons of the game. The STM-23 Defender has had its durability reduced by 20%. The Cricket 1mm, sorry, it's not a 1. It's just Cricket 1M. I don't know why I read it like that in my head. I'm laughing at myself just how stupid that sounded as I read it off. It's one of those things where as soon as I started saying it, I'm like, why the fuck would I read that as millimeter? That's mm. 1 capital M. No. That would be meter, if anything. Anyway, increased durability, increased mass, increased ammo reserves by 2 volleys. Spitfire, durability reduced by 10%. Buzzsaw, damage increased by 10%. Executioner 88mm. There we go. That's actually the millimeter. Durability reduced by 10%. Scorpion, damage increased by 20%. Porcupine, damage reduced by 20%. Thank God, I hate the fucking mines. They are way too overpowered. Well, they were before this. The GL55 Impulse, damage increased by 10%, slightly reduced impulse. Lancelot, damage reduced by 20%. Retro, damage reduced by 10%. Boosters, power consumption is reduced to 1 unit. Missile turret, durability reduced by 20%. All active melee weapons, damage resistance and collisions increased by 15%. Whew, that was a mouthful. Alright. So now we're on to the miscellaneous stuff. Weapon PS now depends on rarity and energy consumption. Autonomous combat skills. Drones and turrets now need time to prepare for battle, 2 seconds. Wheel turning speed now depends on vehicle mass. Wheel friction now depends on slope, angle. The higher the angle, the lower the friction. Improved names and descriptions of several decor items. Improved some mission descriptions. Improved behavior of wheeled vehicles and a skid. Activation of drones and turrets now removes invisibility. The epic miniguns, the MG-13 Equalizer, are now taken into account when performing daily tasks. Improved drone response to nearby explosions. Bug fixes, fixed text errors, fixed description of reloading, upgrade for Wasp, Executioner 88mm, ZIS-34 Fatman, and the Hurricane. Fixed description of full range, upgrade for radar detection module, fixed a bug where the vehicles with a hybrid chassis could not move in some cases. Fixed description of cooling modules, cooldown time now increases together with overheat time. Anyway, that is it. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you back in some of my other Crossout videos. We're trying to get back in the groove of it. But, if you liked the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And as always, peace out and have a great day.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't